Hello, how are you? I'm here to do a general reading for the collective. The moon is in Libra at this time, and it is fixing to move into Scorpio, and we have a new moon in Scorpio, and that will start all happening right about now over the next couple, 2, 3 days. So we're just going to do a little energy check in and see what we might expect from this new moon. Now, Libra is the house of partnerships, legalities, and so forth. And then Scorpio is that in between place that comes in to clean things up, to wipe things away that no longer serve us, to push things out of our life that aren't really necessary or needed to be there or could be holding us back. And then right after that is Sagittarius energy, which is on a brand new adventure. Okay, so that's kind of the themes I'm feeling right now. Closing up some chapters, closing up some partnerships, some deals, some agreements. We are still in a Mercury retrograde for now, and Jupiter is also in retrograde in Cancer. There is a water trine going on right now in the heavenlies. Trines are where like a big, all that come together. A trine's a good, like a big triangle. So the water signs could be really impacted by this next 2 or 3 days, because their energies are really fluid and strong right now. That's Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Um, So let's go ahead and use the Shaman's Dream Oracle. My name is Firestorm Shan, and my name is Shannon, but I like to be called Firestorm. I'm here to bring change and transformation to your life using tarot as a tool. So let's go ahead and pop it. I do not simply read tarot, I read the truth. Okay, so just so you understand, I do work with numerology, astrology, tarot, divination. I work with candles. I work with whatever. Horned cactus, resourcefulness. Lots of energies around Taurus energy as well. Because Taurus is the opposite sign of Scorpio, they do go hand in hand. So this has to do with your resources. And this is card 29, and it's a cactus. Now, considering the fact that cactuses typically are only found in the wild, wild west, you know, there is a sense of a dry desert feeling that is around you. But if it does appear that things have dried up around you, there is resourcefulness that's being called upon at this time to, you know, clean things up that are okay. I'll just give you an example because it popped into my head. Say you got a bunch of subscriptions. Subscriptions are the way to go when it comes to the next level of making money, and the traditional consumer can get caught up in multiple subscriptions and not realize it. So what I did is I went and I turned off all my debit cards because I had lost control of the subscriptions, and then I can go re-sign back up for them later, if I want them. But I realized that over the summer I had collected a lot of subscriptions that I really wasn't watching or using, and so I save myself a couple $100 a month just in cleaning up subscriptions. So resourcefulness. Cactuses don't require a lot of water. And so it's interesting because if you give them too much water, you'll actually drown and rot their roots. They're made to live with very little water. And so with this water trine in the planetary alignments right now, it's of course a new moon in Scorpio. I mean, that could be a little bit of a concern. I'm hearing emotional spending, emotional eating, Taurus energy. Lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. Little message from the ancestors coming through here, giving us some guidance on and some wisdom on how to know the lay of the land, how to work the resources that we have with wisdom, and to make sure that we are being good to the planet at the same time as taking care of our own families and security and needs. Number 34 might be significant. Number 29 might be significant. 11 and number 7 might be significant. Lost compass, getting back to integrity. Lost compass, getting back to integrity. So where have we, this is number 35, and then it's an 8 in numerology. Where have we lost a little bit of our integrity? That's going to be different for everyone. But it does have something to do with wisdom and resources and getting back to integrity, which would mean perhaps some of us have made some poor decisions with our resources, and it has called us to experience some delays. But delays are not denials. There's just a course correction that's being called upon at this time. Because some of you are feeling lost and uncertain of where you're going. But it is important that you know your natal chart. If you need a natal chart reading, I offer those. The information's in the description box below for my rates. But yeah, we can find out exactly, where your north node is pointing and your south node is pointing, because some of you guys could be stuck in your south node. See, the north node is in Pisces right now, and the south node is in another earth sign, which is Virgo. So what you do on a daily basis might need some changing up, because Virgo is a south node, and that's what we've already learned these lessons. We've already learned everything we need to learn here. You've already established, whoever this reading is for, you've already established everything that you can learn or do on your daily basis, day by day. But somewhere, somehow, something on the day by day basis has lost its. I see it as a funk, and it's caused some of you guys to make some poor decisions with how you spend your time wisely every day. And so if we're spending too much keyboard times on social media instead of, finding ways to create new resources, then that would be a lack of integrity. Does that make sense? So I'm picking up on a little bit of an apathy and a little bit of a laziness when it comes to taking accountability for responsibilities for some of us here, okay? Throwing myself in the bus completely. I told you my story about the subscriptions. I had to clean that up, right? All right, so we're going to be getting back to the basics here with second house showing up here, your ancestors showing up here, and that looks like Jupiter. With this compass, it looks just like the Wheel of Fortune to me, and Jupiter is in retrograde in the sign of Cancer right now, which when Jupiter comes into the picture, it wants to move you forward and expand you and to grow and to shine and look beautiful. But when it goes retrograde, it goes more to more of an internal expansion of, and that would be getting back to integrity. That's what Jupiter's doing right now by going retrograde, because now we're all looking inward to see how can I expand in my own spiritual gifts and callings, with the North Node being up there in Pisces. That's very spiritual energy. This could have something to do with people who have spiritual businesses as well, learning how to create resources. Some of you guys are you're being called to the next level, you know, and it could feel a little scary because if you look at this person, they got victory, but they're on top of this mountain, and they had to climb pretty hard to get up to that mountain. It was always going to be another mountain, always going to want to make it move. No, you stand on top of that mountain right now, and you let the ancestors show you what they want to show you from that higher perspective. So I'm hearing that Miley Cyrus song, always gonna be another mountain. Always gonna want to make it move. You're not gonna move that mountain. Something needs to move inside of you. I know, I know, I know. I was raised Christian, so I can hear it in my head. If you shall say to that mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, then it shall be done for you. Whatsoever you saith, it shall be done. Yeah, I mean, a little extreme there. I mean, I don't see too many people going around speaking of mountains and watching them crumble, really. We're talking about as symbolism, mountains in your life that cause obstacles, you know, or delays. Okay. They're here to help build endurance. Okay. The mountains are here to help you build endurance, get to know the lay of the land. All right. That is about 10 minutes on oracles. Let's see what's going on with the tarot. We have the Justice card at the bottom of the deck. That is the Libra energy. The moon is in Libra. It is a card 11. We talked about horned cactus. Resourcefulness is 29, and in numerology, it means 11. So keeping your life in balance, using your resources wisely. Now, we talked about some changes that might need to come into play with the way we use our resources. That's coming through with this Justice card. Remember, we talked about the new moon in Scorpio? Justice is coming in today to say, okay, over the next couple days, over this new moon, we need to look at how you're using these resources, and are you using them wisely? There could be legalities that pop up at this time as well, or just a conversation that needs to be had with the kids about, hey, I'm going to get you a cell phone, but we're not going to get you the most expensive phone, but we want to be able to make sure that you have a way to reach us in case of an emergency. Could be something like that. Or maybe the holidays, this Christmas or the holidays, maybe you decide to make handmade gifts instead of buying $650, $700 PlayStation 5s and 6s and all that kind of stuff. Expensive computers. Like there's something here about getting back to the basics. We've gotten lost in materialism. We also, some of us have gotten lost in expectations. And I said apathy already, but I'm hearing laziness as well. Um, so yeah, it's time to bring that back into balance here. Why is crossing justice? This is the energy that's either helping you or hurting you. The Magician. Ooh. And High Priestess. Yes, there's that Pisces North Node calling you. High Priestess, very spiritual energy, spiritual practitioners. Some of you guys are manifesting. This is manifestation. This is Scorpio, Virgo, and Gemini energy here. It's new moon in Scorpio. Very spiritual intuition. High Priestess, Pisces. So we have Libra, Pisces. If you just say you are a Libra or you're dealing with a Libra, there could be a Pisces you're dealing with, or a Gemini, or a Virgo. And we talked about Virgo with the lost compass. What are we doing with our time on a day-by-day basis? Are we journaling? Are we spending... They're suggesting that we spend more time on our spiritual practices, more journaling, because she's got a book. Maybe some of you guys have a book to write. Look at the illumination around her heart chakra. Now that book there is blank, so it's very secretive. Keep it to yourself. But you are in manifestation mode to bring balance into your life, and you have the power and the intuition, the gifts and the callings to make this happen. You can make this happen. Those are all major arcanas. That's a 1 and a 2, and then that's 11. 1, 2, baby, coming for you. Okay. Not sure if that's for this Page of Cups. What is the driving foundation of this reading? Whoopsie. Oh God, the Wheel of Fortune flipped in reverse. I'm not going to take it, but we were just talking about that. Jupiter's in retrograde, causing us to have some bad luck. Hang on 1 second. So, what is the driving energy? The driving energies, that was fast. So many cards. 3 of Wands, another card of manifestation. 9 of Swords is a dark night of the soul. The Hierophant, here we go with resources. The Star, a lot of hope and healing here with Aquarius, and that's 11. 17, number 8. And then number 6, remembering the past or some sort of nostalgia. Oh, and that's where your ancestors are coming in. So it feels like this is a repeat pattern for some of us who keep finding ourselves getting lost. But here we have it with all this beautiful energy. Okay, what is the driving this one card? What is the foundation of the reading? Six of Swords. Yes, they're trying to lead us on to calmer waters. The interesting thing about this deck is there's this red snake that's always following this guy. So, snakes represent change and transformation. And it's like it's right there on your coattails. It's going to chase you down. The snake is chasing this man down, and he's just trying to move on to calmer waters, right? I mean, plug it in as it resonates, but snakes can represent, there's good snakes and bad snakes. Which one is it, this one for you? Is somebody following you, or is change following you? Is what it really feels like. What is in your headspace? What's going on in the headspace of this reading? Thank you so much. Okay, Nine of Swords came out again. So yeah, this is that dark night of the soul. Ancestors, they're following you. They're trying to help you move on to calmer waters. Dark night of the soul. I mean, my goodness, the card says it all. So that's a mental torment there going on. Like, oh no, not again. A repeat cycle again. My mind can't take it anymore. Like, oh my God, that kind of thing. And I will happen to say this. We, I'm in Texas, United States, and our government shut down for 40 something days. And the food stamps were late. And man, people were losing their lids, losing their integrity, going in and stealing groceries to get what they wanted because they felt entitled. Some people do need, assistance, single moms, elderly people, but there was a lot of videos out there of people who were just like, I'm never going to work. You can't force me to work, and you're going to give me my food stamps or I'm going to take them. That's not integrity. So you might find yourself stealing, robbing Peter to pay Paul because of this lack of ancestral wisdom using your resources. It's time to get back. All right, the Queen of Pentacles is here. Alrighty, this is the Queen of Stability. All right, she wants to be seen, and she's trying to show you that you've got to look at yourself in a different light. God is your resources. She is very in tune with nature. She probably grows her own foods. She might even be one of those people who hunt their own food. Her, family does. But there's a rabbit there sitting next to her. She's very fertile, sound, and stable. So some of you guys have had this before because this is falling in your past position. So remember who you are. You have the ability to have the stability that you need. All it takes is one change of thought. What's the incoming energies? Nine of Pentacles. So some of you who are single, you're going to be provided for. God is your source. The universe is your source. There's money trails trying to find you. That's two of the best cards about money that could come out. We've got the Queen covered, who's usually a married woman, and we've got the single pre-empress here, Nine of Pentacles. This is all about your finances, your stability, and your security, and your resourcefulness. We're going to, and there's this little falcon, which reminds me of wisdom. Wisdom cries in the streets. Come on, you're going to have to, maybe skip on the soda pops and start drinking more water. There's things out there you guys can do to take better care of your health as well. That's Virgo energy, Taurus energy. What's the situation here? King of Swords. King of Swords is a masculine who is kind of being a little blunt about this to you. He's got the wisdom, again, with that falcon in his hand. It's interesting because he can see clearly. She's got a falcon, but there's a blindfold on his eyes. This is a single girl, and she's financially well off. She's okay. She's doing okay. But then the situation is this guy here, the King of Swords, he's much, much, much older, and his falcon doesn't have his blinders on. He can see very clearly. So this is like a financial accountant. This could be a social worker, a lawyer. It's Libra energy. And so it is a sign of, communication. And I feel like he's the one that's saying it's time to get back to integrity. It's time to get back to the basics. He's not afraid to speak his mind, this air energy. So it could be a difficult message of truth. How are you being seen, collective? Well, there's that difficult message of truth. I'm going to say that's what he's telling you. Something that cuts but makes clearing. It's an opportunity to see things in a different perspective, especially with a magician here. A magician is Mercury. So this is how you communicate, okay? The truth about communications. True communications is the situation that's coming through here. All right, how is the collective being seen right now? How is the collective being seen? 10 of Swords. Wow, you guys are really feeling betrayed and stabbed in the back. It's not easy being cheesy. 9 and 10 of Swords, it's not a pretty situation. But you have all the tools you need to get yourself out of this situation. You just need to listen to wisdom. Spirit is here to guide you. Meditation, prayer, um, working on your stability. I'm hearing it's a new and better way of living. There's some sort of cutting off and a cleansing that's happening. Whatever it is, it's over now. All right, so yeah. What's the hope or fear here for the collective? Page of Wands. Page of Wands is a little tiny message coming through. It can be a child, but it's a passionate message. It's good news. So it's a small amount of relief. It's a little bit of a you know, fire energy was motivation. So it's a little message of get moving, get motivated, start someplace small. This person's playing um a guitar. It kind of reminds me of somebody that would be down at the subway and playing some music with the guitar box open, and people are tossing in dollar bills and coins. I mean, it could be something like inspiring message coming into you, to something fun and lighthearted and creative that wants to come in for you, and it's going to come in small, so you might miss it. So you're fearing about missing it. You missed out on something passionate, awe-inspiring. I don't know. What's the outcome of your reading? Potential outcome? Four of Wands and Two of Pentacles. Some of you guys will be juggling, paying the bills in the home. This is a home. It's also the marriage card. It can indicate travel, or moving in a home. Some of you guys could be losing your homes. You're scared. You're juggling a lot of money. That's why we've got to get back to integrity. We have to hear this difficult message of truth from this King of Swords. What is this difficult message of truth from the King of Swords, please? What is the Ace of Swords? Five of Pentacles. The difficult message of truth is we are financially struggling. That is the current situation. But that's not what's coming in. Whatever you had in the past, you can have it again. But it might be a little bit of a rebuilding process. So it's also a card about homelessness, abandonment. Why are they, what's this difficult message of truth being clarified by the Five of Pentacles? Give me a couple of cards on there, please. Queen of Cups. Oh, and there's the Hierophant again. Um, it's time for the church to step back into their position of financially assisting and helping the collective. And I'm feeling a little heated now that I say that, because I know that some churches are doing their very best. Usually it's the small ones that are doing the most. And these big ones, the ones where the pastors are living in these multi-billion-dollar castles, mansions, have all these private jets they're I feel like they're saying that, because this reminds me of the church, and we have the church here. God's not pleased with the way that the people have been getting treated, being left out in the cold and abandoned. Okay, he's not happy about it. He's saying, the universe is saying, he, she, whatever, plug it in as it resonates, spirit, universe, whatever. It's time to bring more love into the picture, more compassion, more empathy. Pisces energy. Do you even care? Very empathetic. The difficult message of truth is that we've lost our integrity. We need to get back to the basics of life. Where's the love in all of this? Yes, we got to have finances. Yes, we got to have money, but there's such a focus on materialism that we've lost our way. So it's time to get back to that integrity. Your ancestors are saying you've lost the lay of the land. And then we have it here with a new opportunity coming in, new resources coming in. If you have resources to give them. There's an opportunity to do that here with this little arch. You could walk through this archway and step into a brand new experience or help someone else. But this is a hand just reaching out from the sky like a surprise. Here's your opportunity, a new opportunity. Here's some money. It reminds me of, like, and I'll close with this. And I know this happens to others of you, and if it does, you could share your testimonies. But I remember what it was like when I had 5 kids at home. I went 5. And my husband was seasonal worker. We had just got married. We had a blended family. And I was at Aldi's in Madison, Indiana, and really watching my budget. I used to go to 3 different grocery stores to try to save as much money as I could, and they were all right next to each other, so I wasn't spending a lot of money on gas. I remember I was in line, and I was loading up that conveyor belt with my groceries, and right when it's time for me to pay, this lady behind me who I go to church with, she's one of the elders of the church, she zooms right up next to me, pushes me aside, and sticks in her credit card and pays for my groceries. I didn't even ask her to do that. I did not ask for charity. That's how this works when you get back to integrity. You start hearing the spirit. You start feeling things. You start having more empathy. Pisces energy is called for at this time. Share your resources if you have them to share, and you will be blessed, doubly blessed. You will not miss on a thing, because that's what's required of us right now, is extending those resources. All right, folks. That's what I see for you right now. I hope this has been helpful for those of you who have watched this all the way through. This is your justice. It's the right thing to do. Um, some of it's going to get tested. And if you don't make the right decision, like you don't have any resources, this isn't really for you. I mean, you might just have resources of your time. You could go babysit for somebody for a couple of hours so they could save 20-30 bucks on daycare, or you could do some meals on wheels and make your own meal and take them and deliver them to a needy family. There's all kinds of ways to do charity work, and that's what's being called for at this time, is shared resources. All right, folks. I thank you for being here, and I hope this has been whatever you want it to be. Until next time, I hope it was transformational and helpful. Bye.